Hey everybody, welcome to this week's Star Report. This is Jason here at New Dimensions Crystals Reiki in downtown Brandon, Texas. And today's report is for August the 27th through September the 2nd, 2025. Moving into a new month, almost into fall in the equinox. The sun has been active over the last couple of days, so you might have been experiencing some erratic behavior, some increased dream activity, a little bit of heart palpitations. It's been solar flaring, which has been the activity. And there has been a high proton count. So just the air feels a little charged, or there seems to be extra potential going on with the sun when it is active. After all, it does give us all the energy we need on the planet. There are currently the active sunspots that are doing the flaring are moving in to be Earth facing this week. So pay attention to eruptions. They don't look too horrible, so I wouldn't be looking for like, oh my gosh, it's going to be the largest solar flare ever. Um, yeah, so just pay attention to the sun. Check your local solar weather and see what's going on, and see if you're having a change in your mental attitude, if it has to be uh, corresponding with the sun. We are currently in Virgo, which is going to be alchemically related in the physical form to the solar plexus. And of course, we know the solar plexus is the big nerve cluster, and so it controls a lot of things. Meridian wise, it's going to be affecting most of your organs, right? So sometimes digestion's a thing, yada, yada, yada. But also metaphysically, in the solar plexus is where we carry aspects of our anger and our systems of control. So sort of think about that during the zodiac of Virgo. We're currently in 1, 2, 3, 4 retrogrades, still in Pluto retrograde till October the 13th. And Pluto's just going to be this releasing of old wounds. Like, hey, I used to be driven by this kind of thing that happened to me, but I'm no longer, right? So that's the release of old wounds. So you sort of acknowledge that they were there. Maybe they were driving you for one reason or another, but now they are going away and you can be free of them. Neptune is in retrograde until December the 10th. And that's just sort of the reacquisition of your spiritual core, right? So this is helps you extract the idea that you're not just a physical form, but you're a spiritual body. And so, therefore, you have all these spiritual skills that aren't limited by the physical form. So, Neptune helps us with that. And, Saturn in retrograde till November the 27th. And Saturn's the bummer. Well, it's not really the bummer, but it sort of gives us guardrails, right? And so, a lot of times, Saturn is also about embracing our responsibility. Like, if we want it to happen, we should stop waiting for it to happen and make it happen and create habits that sort of help us with that. And then when you start to build habits and you're working towards a goal, then Saturn also increases the likelihood of divine timing, or that these habits over time will end up being like, oh my god, I can't believe that I started going to work 5 minutes earlier, and then blah 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 blah. So this is what I'm talking about, divine timing. And then Chiron is in retrograde until January the 3rd of next year. And Chiron really just sort of helps us expand our self worth, right? Are we worth all this? Does it matter? Chiron says yes. I say yes. So work on that with those retrogrades. You have several months left of them. Uh, Today, Wednesday, the 27th, Venus is currently alignment. Venus's current alignment really sort of allows us help with our finances and love connections. And so when Venus is sort of there, it's kind of like, oh my God, I got this feeling, right? Sort of a gut feeling. So Wednesday today, sort of trust your gut. And then, of course, this relationships work. This seems to be more financial, more business oriented, more success oriented, right? Especially with the Saturn retrograde, that responsibility. So pay attention to that energy. Just you're going to sort of feel like you're getting it all together with your finances. But since it is Venus, right, it could be not necessarily romantic love, but you find the right partnerships, the right places to be, the right jobs to work at kind of energy. So if you're looking for a job, today's a good day to check up on that. Tomorrow, Thursday, the 28th of August, the sun and the moon are moving towards their alignment for the eclipses. So they'll soon be in a trine and all that fun stuff. But just sort of on Thursday, it's this sort of preparation for a next phase, right? So this is if you've ever like moved or left a job, right? You got to do all these preparations before you can actually do, find movers, find packers, do it yourself, all those kinds of things. This is sort of preparation for the next phase. So you sort of feel like something's coming. I won't call it an anxiety this, but you're sort of feeling in the air on Friday, excuse me, on Thursday that the there's something new happening, right? In of course, in you can go down all the lists of things. It could be if you're into the real world, it could be governmental shifts. If you're into conspiracy, it could be disclosure. If you're into all other kinds of things, right? Just sort of pay attention. That it's sort of that preparation for next phase. So you can sort of see even all these disparate, separate things sort of coming together, right? And so they'll all be sort of saying similar things like, here's the end. It's almost here. It's almost there. We're going to figure some things out. Things are going to get better or worse. All that fun stuff. Like people who follow the solar weather, like I do, like, oh my god, the sun's getting worse, we're all gonna die. But yeah, so are we? Who knows? Moving right along, Friday the 29th, the moon's moving into Cancer. No, it's not. It's trining Cancer. I can't read my writing. I have terrible handwriting. And so this is really social and financial success sort of happen, right? So this is sort of building on Thursday that not only will you have things that sort of raise your finances or the ability to do that, but you're going to have social success, right? Most of us are just looking for connection or a tribe. And a lot of times it's hard to have a tribe because everybody likes to divide over very specific issues rather than like, hey, is this a good person? Do they raise my vibe? Do they lower my vibe kind of energy? So just pay attention to that energy on Friday, especially since it's a holiday weekend in the United States for Labor Day. Oh, wow, that just totally jacked with my putting those farther in my ears. Now I'm just hearing my own voice and nothing humming in the building. Yeah. So what else did I write on there? Oh, yeah. And then the moon and Mercury is probably, I think it's squaring Mercury. So the moon squaring Mercury. I really think that perhaps holiday travel might be impeded, right? So this could be heavy traffic. This could be your car don't work. This could be your reservations got canceled or were misunderstood. So pay attention to those kind of hiccups that might be happening on a Friday if you happen to be going and doing holiday things. Most people were just here all summer and already back to school, so maybe they're not taking the weekend off, but you might be staying at home or trying to go to just somebody else's house. All that kind of stuff. Pay attention to the travel difficulty. Moves us to Saturday, the 30th of August. Moon into Sagittarius could make sleep difficult, right? So, might be good if you're not sleepy. Maybe you could party all night, right? Um, and then business meetings could be good, right? So maybe you're meeting or you're having a company picnic or some stuff like that for the weekend. These kinds of relationships could be good on Saturday. Imagination is going to be sort of spiking, and maybe the rarer idea, the most odd idea is something that should be moving along with the energy of the stars, right? So you might be like, that's weird. It is not changing logos. So just for those of you who pay attention or annoyed with that in the news, don't change your logo this weekend. Uh, and then one of the other things that sort of happens over the weekend is with the alignment, especially the moon, is sort of this longing for nostalgia, right? So I feel like the nostalgia is really sort of established narratives that don't change, not necessarily that those narratives were good, right? And so that longing for nostalgia is that somebody's got it all figured out and we know what to do and how to interact in it. So that's an energy that sort of happens on Saturday. Might be the cause of your no sleep, right? Moves into Sunday, the 31st of August. The moon is going to be sextiling Mars. And so it's really going to be opening up communication between the sexes, um, mostly around work. maybe romantic. So yeah, most of the stuff this week, the alignments in the planet, the movements of the stars, is really sort of financial and abundant success. But a lot of people sort of characterize having a relationship and some love in that as success. So those things sort of intermix. But just the moon, feminine, Mars, masculine, that sort of interaction is really about the communication styles. And men are from Mars, women are from Venus or the moon. Kind of energy is what's going on with that. So pay attention. And then Monday, September the 1st. Oh my gosh, we're in September. Labor Day. Saturn in Pisces alignment could make you feel like not going to work. It's a good thing it's a holiday, right? Unless you're in one of those jobs that didn't give you a holiday for Labor Day. But you're definitely not going to get any mail for get bad news in the mail, so that's good. Of course, everything gets delivered even when it's not supposed to, right? So you might not get any regular mail, but you'll probably get an Amazon post. So look for that feeling to just sort of want to be a hermit, not be out with anybody. Um, Interestingly enough, the alignment of the stars on Monday is such that digestion slows, right? This is an electromagnetic, not just a biochemical sort of process, right? And so when the magnetics are shifting, right, it sort of slows our digestion. So you might want to pay attention on Monday if you were going to stay home and you didn't eat all over the weekend, not to have too much food because it will be digesting slow and you'll feel sluggish for Tuesday when you got to come work, which brings us to Tuesday, September the 2nd. Mercury is going to be in Virgo, and so you may have a tendency to sort of feel like you're overanalyzing everything. But also the Sun and Moon alignment is trying to bring you success, right? So a lot of time we sort of overanalyze stuff and don't take the opportunity. So there's sort of a dueling energy, right? You're going to want to overanalyze everything, right? But you should trust your gut, and then you're going to be uh, acting is going to be better than overthinking, right? So with the alignment of the sun and the moon, you're more likely to get success if you act, not if you overthink. And of course, you can go down the rabbit hole. Like, what if thinking is an action? Okay. But like this is just sort of giving you the heads up that opportunity on Tuesday when you get back to work, to choose and to act is going to be the good thing. Uh, that leads us, I think that's everything for the week. That seems like that was a quick report, but maybe it wasn't. Uh, Lots of stuff happening, but it's all the same stuff that always happens, right? So those of us who watch the show already know like how to observe our body and when it sort of shifts. These are just sort of bigger things that are going on. And of course, this is for everybody, right? If you want to see how these alignments are jacking with your own chart, obviously go to like astrology.com and get you a chart, sort of see where all these alignments are happening in your houses and according to your own personal birth chart. But this is stuff that everybody's going to feel, right? So this is easy to sort of see these big things and then go out into public like, oh, I think this person's having a problem with Mercury, or this person isn't taking the action, right? So they're not vibing with the energy of the sun and the moon, right? So that's how you would use this report. Of course, if you don't know what's going on in your own world, I'm always here at the shop. And if you want me to book you a session, then you could go to newdimensionscrystals.com and sign up there under book now. And then, of course, if you're just in the area, you need some crystals, or you have a quick question, or you want a tarot card reading, those are usually walk-ins. So I should be here all week. No plans to just up and leave and go away or shut the shop without telling you. So if you are going to make it by this week, I'll be here. I think that's all for this report. Until next time, when I find the stop button, many blessings.